Good morning, everybody. This is Deb from Just Do Something Homestead, and today we're going to talk about how to protect your plants from worms. And when you finally see an infestation on your plants, what can you do to save them? My brassicas were looking absolutely stunning a week ago, and then the worms moved in. I have been attacked. At least my Brussels sprouts have been attacked, and today I am declaring war against the cabbage moth caterpillar and army worms. These are my Brussels sprouts, and this one is perfectly clear, not one little iota that anything has been chewing on it. And yet, the one next to it has been decimated. Now, as a farmer who tries to do all organic practices, I can't say I'm an organic farmer because I haven't paid the big bucks to be, but I try really hard not to spray anything on my plants. And so I'm pretty leery when it comes to this. And so I've been pulling off worms and bugs. I can't do it fast enough. So what is a girl to do? I got BT. And I had a horrible time finding it. I actually had to order this off of Amazon. It controls worms and caterpillars. And it's on fruits, vegetables, and ornamentals. So this, as you look at the bottom, says for organic gardening. So I feel a little bit better about it. But today I am spraying all of my cabbage, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and cauliflower. And whether they are eating on it or not, I am going to spray it on all of them, because if I don't, they'll just lay their eggs on the ones that weren't sprayed. I ordered this BT off of Amazon this week. It was $23 for 32 ounces, so it is not an inexpensive thing. I used it on 60 of my brassicas, and it's almost gone. I made sure to keep a little in case I have one plant that just can't seem to get rid of these worms. But there aren't a whole lot of options when we are talking organically. Typically, I try to cover all my plants with netting, and that eliminates it right from the start. But, you know, life gets ahead of you, and sometimes you just don't get to it all. The way that BT works is that the caterpillars are going to eat it, and once they eat it, they will die, which is, ultimately what I'm aiming for. So when you spray it, you want to soak it down real good, but then you want to turn over the leaves and get the bottom of the leaves as well. One place that these worms like to gather is directly in the center of your plant, so make sure you soak it really well down in the center where it's going to be new growth. You may be wondering if your vegetable plant can be saved, and this one was heavily eaten on the outside, but when I look at the center, it's got all new growth and there is no insect damage. So this red Brussels sprout will definitely survive now that I have sprayed it. But what about this one? The truth is, it probably will not survive because the center has completely died and is dried up. So the chance of this one surviving is pretty nil, but I sprayed it anyway. As I said, I don't want these caterpillars going to my other vegetables, so I sprayed it hard and heavy. When you read this Captain Jack's BT, what you're going to see is that you need to constantly shake it. So I spray a little and then I shake a lot and then I spray a little bit more. So make sure you are shaking it or it's not going to have the full strength you need. If you're not sure what is eating your plants, you need to do a little investigating. And the first thing is to look for a little black poop. And as you can see, there is a lot of it here. So at this point, I'm going to pull back these leaves and see what I can find. Oop, and there it is. Those are army worms. And so they will completely destroy this plant in less than a week. So that is what I am spraying for. That's one of them. And as I said, it's not by spraying the caterpillar that's going to kill it. You are spraying the foliage that they're going to eat. So make sure that you spray every leaf, both sides, top and bottom, so that when they eat it, they're not going to survive. Now this is in the bottom of another leaf, and I have zoomed in so you can see I'm thinking these are probably some more armyworms, but they are teeny tiny, almost impossible to see. But definitely look on the bottom of leaves. That is typically where these moths are going to lay their eggs. And here is culprit number 2. And you can see by my thumb there how tiny this one is. This is the cabbage moth caterpillar. These are the little green worms that when you leave them here and you harvest your vegetables, you go to rinse off your food and you find a sink full of little green worms. And if they are on your produce, they are also pooping all over your produce. So my goal is to immediately remove them all. And that's what I had been doing. I was picking them off. But just as I started to get ahead of the cabbage worms, then the army worms came. I just finished spraying all of my cabbage, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and cauliflower with BT. And I have close to 65 plants. So that took almost the entire container of BT. And let me see if I can see. It's 32 ounces. So that's a significant cost. What you want to do at this point, you have a couple options. I have sprayed them. I can come back in 5 to 7 days and spray them all over again. Or I can wait about a day and then cover up my produce, my plants that are growing that tend to get these worms on them. That will successfully block out the moths from laying any more eggs. The different things I can use is my floating row cover. Now I've used that on my broccoli and cabbage, and that's why those plants really were not hit hard. What was hit hard were the ones that were not under the cover. And so I'm going to take tulle. Tulle is a fabric that's a fine net, and I'm going to cover up my plants. That will protect them from this point on. This is tulle, and I was able to get, probably about 40 of them. At a local outlet store, they were selling them for 50 cents, which truly is unheard of. So when you find these deals, you better grab them. This is what tulle looks like when you're covering up a plant. It is extremely thin. I use this to cover up my blueberries. Unfortunately, it's also not very strong. So you'll be lucky to get one season. But as I said, they were 50 cents. So I was able to get a whole bunch of them. And this is what I'm going to cover up my brassicas with. So just a word of advice. If you are checking on your garden daily like I do and suddenly start seeing some leaves that are chewed on, do not wait because they will be destroyed very quickly. Now, the problem I had, I couldn't find them in the stores, so I had to order it and it took me a week. This is what happens in 1 week when these worms are left on their own. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. And have a blessed day, everybody. Bye-bye.